Habari Gani. What's the news? Well, today principle is Nia. So today is day 4 of Kwanzaa, and today's principle is Nia, and Nia means purpose. And so this is one that I love a lot. I especially love people who name their children, name their little girls Nia, because it means it's telling. I'm a big believer in naming, and what you name your child has great significance, especially on their life and their purpose. And so when you name your child Nia or purpose, it just resonates with me a lot. So Nia means to have a plan for the future and to be willing to help others to succeed as well. So what I love about celebrating Kwanzaa and sharing with others is that it isn't just about you. And I think especially nowadays we forget that we're not in this world to be just about us. So we're in this world to help and to love others, to help others succeed, to help contribute to the community and to the society as a whole, especially the talents and the gifts that we've been given. So I really love Nia on this. I think it's 4. It's the 5th day. I'm sorry. It's day 5 is Nia. Thought that didn't seem right. So day 5 is Nia and purpose. And so as we've been doing, this is my very awesome book that I've been using, 7 Days of Kwanzaa, and it goes through everything. If you're new to Kwanzaa, want to learn more, I highly recommend this book. I think it's still in print. I would check eBay if you're looking for it. But what I've also been doing is I've been pairing an essential oil with each principle because I love my oils and I'm a huge proponent in using essential oils to help you with everyday issues with your natural health care. And so today I picked my favorite oil of all time. If anyone knows me, they know that frankincense is my number one. My number one oil. It is what I lovingly refer to as my boyfriend. I love frankincense. It is actually the oil that got me started using and teaching and distributing, helping and selling essential oils because I had seen a documentary and they talked about essential oils and cancer. And frankincense was that one that they talked the most about, and it was very profound, the things that frankincense can help your body with. And so I was determined to have that oil in my life. And so it became my favorite oil. And so I paired it with Nia or purpose because frankincense is known as the oil of truth. So the other book that we're using as we're going through Kwanzaa and oils is this Emotions and Essential Oils, and this you can get on Amazon. I even have a newer version of this book that has all more oils in it as well. So frankincense is the oil of truth. And so frankincense reveals deception and false truth. It invites individuals to let go of lower vibrations, lies, deceptions, and negativity. This oil helps create new perspectives based on light and truth. Frankincense recalls to memory spiritual understanding, gifts, wisdom, and knowledge the soul brought into the world. It is a powerful cleanser of spiritual darkness. Frankincense assists in pulling the scales of darkness from the eyes, the barriers from the mind, and the walls from the heart. Through connecting the soul with its inner light, this oil reveals the truth. Frankincense supports in creating a healthy attachment with one's father. It assists in spiritual awakening and it helps an individual feel the fatherly love of the divine. When one has felt abandoned or forgotten, frankincense reminds them that they are loved and protected. While this oil is incredibly powerful, it is also gentle, like a loving father who nurtures, guides, and protects. Frankincense shields the body and soul from negative influences and assists the soul in its spiritual evolution. Enhancing practices of prayer and meditation, this oil opens spiritual channels that allow an individual to connect with God. Through the light and power of frankincense, the individual can draw closer to divinity, healthy masculinity, and the grandeur of the true self. So, as we've been discussing, the oils, when you use it for emotional support, are meant to help you move away from negative emotions or and move more towards positive emotions and properties. So, frankincense helps you move away from abandonment, feeling spiritually disconnected, feeling distant from Father, unprotected, and spiritual darkness. And it helps you move closer to feeling enlightened, loved, protected, wisdom, discernment, spiritually open, and connection with Father. So this is a beautiful oil. A lot of people use this oil in religious practices. I know sometimes they use it in incense and things, and so that's because it's believed to have that helps you with called the oil of truth and helps you connect spiritually. There's a lot of people will diffuse it during meditation or diffuse it or use it while they may be doing their devotions or scripture reading to help you get a real sense of connection spiritually. Um, I know a lot of people know it because it's one of the gifts that was given to baby Jesus. And so frankincense and myrrh are the two that we know about. And it's like, well, why did they give those? Well, frankincense, you remember, and myrrh, those, the oils and these natural things, those were their medicines back then that they used. And so I love frankincense. And I think about frankincense and myrrh, you think of frankincense's father, like the reading explained today, and myrrh is mother. And so they're very nurturing. They're very helpful to the body, but what I love about it is how it says it's gentle. That's probably why I think of it. I don't think of it as father. I think of it as I call it my boyfriend because I get that sense of protection and love whenever I use my frankincense oil, and I know the benefits that it has. And so that's why I picked to go with purpose because I feel like when you have that strong center, you have that feeling of knowing the truth, and you have that really strong spiritual connection, then you are really in tune with one's purpose. And so that's why I picked frankincense for our Nia oil. And so I also, since I do love frankincense, have this book. This book was hard for me to get, and I grabbed it when I went to convention a couple years ago. And just to give you a little bit of history about frankincense. So it was very valued. I mean, it still is very valued, but it was very valued to the point that they used to store frankincense oil in the Petra treasury. So it was a massive stone chamber in which the precious oil and commodities were heavily guarded. So it used to be under lock and key. Like kind of think of how we think about the gold being in Fort Knox. Well, they used to store frankincense in vaults, kind of like that were heavily guarded in Petra. So if you get a chance to read up and learn some of history about frankincense, it's pretty awesome. And so we realized that we have access to these oils and things that they used before, and they're still good. They're still very potent. They're still miraculous things to include into your healthcare. It makes me sad sometimes that we completely disregard the benefits that we can get from incorporating the oil. So also remember the other thing that we've been doing is that we have been pulling and learning about Black history as well during our Kwanzaa and oils. And so on this day, we picked Marcus Garvey. So I don't know if you're familiar with Marcus Garvey. I love Marcus Garvey just because of the boldness that he always had with his purpose and how dedicated he was to the African diaspora around the world. And so I'll read a little bit about Marcus Garvey. If you don't know who he is, you can learn about him today. So he was a Jamaican political leader, publisher, journalist, entrepreneur, orator, and proponent of the Pan-Africanism movement. He founded the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League in 1914. So Marcus Garvey was born in August 17th, 1887, and he passed away June 10th of 1940. So that gives you like a time frame from when he lived around the turn of the century, 1900. In 1919, he established the Negro Factories Corporation and founded the Black Star Line, a shipping and passenger line which promoted the return of the African diaspora to the ancestral land. So he was one of the most influential leaders of the 20th century in Jamaica. So what I loved about him was that he kind of embodied a lot or all of the Kwanzaa principles in terms of cooperative economics, um, unity. One of the movements that he was really the spearhead of was returning back to Africa. A lot of the African descendants that were dispersed around the world with slave trade, he was a big proponent in getting them to return back to their roots. And so that's someone who had purpose. And so I want to leave you with that because we have 2 more days, 2 more awesome principles that I will be sharing over the next 2 days. And I just wanted to say thank you for joining us for Kwanzaa and Oils, and be blessed. Have an amazing day. Bye.